It's making me so fucking itchy. Oh, God. Damn, we got quite a bit to go over. Jesus Christ. I guess we'll start with baseball. That seems like the most logical thing to go over, despite Sage pushing for us to go over basketball every fucking day. Sage, did you get a chance to watch the game? Just say no and we'll move on. I don't think you watched much of the game, did you? What an asshole! Not showing any support whatsoever for the only Canadian team in baseball. Sage, you gotta start doing a little better than that, okay, buddy? Just a little better, just a little better. All right, well, the Yankees won, so that sucks. So they won before the Jays, or were about to win before the Jays even started playing. So they won 6-1. So it pretty much forces us into a damn near sudden death tomorrow, in which the Jays either have to win and you're in, or the Yankees lose. So one or the other will get the Jays into the playoffs. I remember saying 3 weeks ago, probably go through my the archives here, I said no one in this division would win 95, and it would take 93 to 94 wins. What a projection that was. What a projection that was. At the time, all the Jays had to do was fucking play 500 down the stretch or whatever. Sons of bitches. Anyways, it wasn't meant to be that way. Let's run through the box score. Let's see what the fuck happened. I do know that Alejandro Kirk did hit a big home run for us today. He was 1 for 3 with the home run. No walks, anything like that. George Springer 1 for 3 with a walk. So, I mean, hell of a year, as we've said before. Nathan Lucas, 1 for 4 with an RBI. 3 strikeouts, though, so striking out a little more than you'd like, but hey, at least he had a hit. Vladimir Guerrero didn't have a hit, and it's time for Vladimir Guerrero to kind of get out of this little funk he's been in. He's been in a funk for quite a while, and I think he's only got 23 home runs on the year. That's how bad the funk has been. He needs to hit 2 home runs tomorrow and just put us into the goddamn seeding. Now, Asabarger was 1 for 4. Fucking Ernie Clement had a big double, 2-out double to score 2 runs. So 2 for 3 with 2 RBI. Not my favorite player in the world in terms of batting against a right-handed pitcher, but it did come off a righty. I don't know which pitcher it was. Seems it was some motherfucker named Boyle. But you're talking about elite defense. I kind of like in Bo Bichette's absence that they're playing Andres Jimenez at shortstop, who had a hit today and an RBI, and they're playing the other guy, Ernie Clement at second. That's some great defense up the middle, and it profiles better for Andres Jimenez's bat to be playing at shortstop as well. But I certainly like that. Trey Yesavage was an absolute beast in his 3rd MLB start. He definitely had a couple of times. I think there was 2 spots in the 3rd and in the 5th inning. I think it was those innings, the 3rd or 4th, or 2nd and 4th. I don't know. I don't give a shit. There was 2 innings where he had some runners on. I think it was the 1st inning. He had 2 on, and there was one where he had a bases loaded jam that he had to get out of with 2 outs or whatever. Kind of like to see him get in those spots a little bit. Not that I would have wanted to if I was actually watching the game, but the guy seems ready. This guy, I'd be plugging him into the playoff roster. Was one of our 3 or 4 starters for sure. He had 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 hits, and 5 innings pitched. Season ERA only on a sample of 3 starts or whatever, 3.21. I think you really like what you see there. You're seeing a fastball that can touch 97 miles per hour. Tends to throw that high. That splitter in the mid-80s looks pretty damn good, 84. And then he's got that slider that he'll throw occasionally, like 87 to 89 as well. So, 3-pitch pitcher. I like that his secondary pitch isn't a slider. There's less torque on the arm if you're throwing a splitter rather than a slider. So I think that's good for the longevity of his career. The guy looks ready, 22 years old. He looks absolutely ready to come in and compete. I thought, and I had no idea what the Jays' plans were. I thought they'd bring him up in September and then use him to be a bullpen guy. But the fact they brought him up and used him as a starter, it's a pretty ballsy move, I would say. And the fact that it has panned, regardless of how tomorrow goes. It has panned playing Trey Yesavage. And I can tell you what, I like Trey Yesavage, I like Shane Bieber, and I like Kevin Gossman. Those three I like for the playoffs. For a 4-starter, I don't really like any of our 4 starting options. I know Chris Bassett will be back. You've got Max Scherzer. I think Jose Berrios is injured. I kind of like Eric Lauer. I guess for the 4-starter, I don't know how many fucking starters they carry because there's a lot of rest days in the playoffs. Anyway, I think you'll see someone pitch, obviously, and then Eric Lauer will be the one piggybacking off of them. So that's kind of the way I see it. And I think Yesavage has to be in your top 3. I think you're an absolute idiot if he's not in your top 3. Great stuff. Guy looks composed. Is it putting a lot of pressure on him? Fucking right it is. But was today a lot of pressure on him? Fucking right it was. Did he rise to the occasion? Fucking right he did. So that's what I'm saying right now. Keep this guy going. But before we do that, let's take care of business. Now, I'll go over this real quickly here. So Uriel Rodriguez was the only one that let a run. I think it was a bomb by Jonathan Aranda, who hits everyone. He's been hitting really good this year. Then the rest of the way, we had a shutout. So Justin Broyle came in, scoreless. That'd be the 7th inning. The 8th inning, a scoreless by Thomas Nance. Then Sir Anthony Dominguez shut the door for a scoreless 9th inning. Now, I was on Twitter. I actually called this guy out on Twitter. He doesn't have the balls to message me back because he knows he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed by the thundercloud. Let me just see if I can find the thread real quick here. For anyone listening, it's at Mr. Thunderful, the thundercloud on Twitter. This guy Ben Verlander, he's asking a question, and I'll read it verbatim. You know, just give me a second here. I gotta have a sip of this Basque wine here. Oh, this is a fine wine right here. Tastes like shit, but it's 12%. The official drink of the Thundercloud. Anyways, this Ben Verlander on Twitter asks, the Toronto Blue Jays officially have a do we start Kevin Gossman in Game 162 to win the division, or do we save him situation? What would you do? I don't know, this guy, what is he, like 26 years old or something? It looks like a fucking punk. I'd punch his fucking ass the fuck out. I responded with, not really sure why this question is being asked, or I said, this is easy. Ben is Justin Verlander's brother. Well, Justin Verlander I like. Ben Verlander I do not like. Because that is a stupid fucking question to ask. So I reply, this is easy. Start Gossman tomorrow, LOL. Which we will see. Which is what the Blue Jays are doing. And then I just said, not really sure why this question is being asked, to be honest. Because honestly, you're going to play Gossman. What if the Jays had happened to them the last 3 or 4 times they've been in the playoffs for the wild card round? A 2 out of 3 game series, anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like, to me, and is that actually true, or are you joking? Is he actually Justin Verlander's brother? Please tell me it's not true, man, because I love Justin Verlander. He's one of my guys. He's not Justin Verlander's brother, right? I hope that was just a joke. But yeah, I think you have to honestly go with... okay, you know what? Sage, fact check it. fact check it, okay, bud? We need you to fact check. Is Ben Verlander fucking Justin Verlander's brother? We pray to God it's not, but you never know in this fucking weird age. Anyways, you got Kevin Gausman, man. Like, of course you have to play him. Have you seen the Jays' record this year? The Jays' record at home, and I'll just bring it up for you. It is the best in the American League. I do know that. Is what? 53-27. Okay, who's got the next best record? I believe it's the Yankees. For home record, isn't it? Actually, the Yankees are third best at 49-31. Okay. It's actually Seattle with the second best home record. Actually, a little surprised there. Actually, Seattle, with the way they've been going lately, that's completely surprised me, to be honest with you. But anyways, I don't want to go through New York. I hate how the Park's got that jet stream to right field. They stack the lefties. I just don't want to go through New York, honestly. I just win the fucking division. That's all I got to say. Sage has confirmed it is the worst news in the world. Ben Verlander is Justin Verlander's brother. That means Justin Verlander, if we meet one day, I'm going to have to punch you out too, motherfucker. All right. There was a cool thing, though, that Ben Nightingale posted here. So, entering September, the Cleveland Indians, I still call them the Indians. It's just how I roll, man. I've been watching them since, 1995, man. I've got to call them the Indians. They had a 2.9% chance to make the postseason. They just clinched a playoff spot today. So that's kind of crazy. I do see Cleveland as an easy out, though. I really do. Their run differential this year, I think, is still in the negatives. Yeah, it's still at -7. So I'm just not buying Cleveland. Now, did they clinch their division? No, I think there's still one game to go there. Still one game to go to see if they can kind of win the division. I'll just take a quick look at the comments. I just didn't want it to be true, right? But here, let me get back to the standings here real quick. So we've got a few things to go over. So I'm kind of surprised. I don't know. Did any of you guys see Seattle being the second place seed this year? For me, I would have bet Houston all day. And Houston still on the outside looking in. I might have bet Detroit as well, but probably not before the season, honestly. Look at the scoreboard now, Grasshopper. All right, let me pull up the scores here. Give me a moment. Fuck off! Are you fucking kidding me? Houston's been eliminated. Oh, man, that is fucking brutal for them. Oh, my God, to the fucking Angels of all teams? Who? 6-1? Holy shit. Who the fuck was pitching? Who is Blue Blah? Oh my goodness. Against Dana? Some guy named Dana with a 6.4 ERA. They couldn't pull the trigger? So Cleveland's in first with the tiebreaker. And basically that'll be an important game for both teams tomorrow, essentially. It's kind of similar to the Blue Jays and Yankees scenario going on there as well between Cleveland and Detroit. Detroit's going to be the 6th seed if they don't win, of course. Boston, fuck. I don't know. It's going to certainly be interesting, to be honest with you. The pitching matchups, maybe we should take a quick look at tomorrow's pitching matchups because I don't know a whole lot. I'll ask you, Adam, but what are your thoughts on this Gill guy going for New York tomorrow? Luis Gill. See, I listen to a lot of games. I don't watch a lot of games. That's the thing. Does Luis Gill have, legitimate stuff? I mean, he's got a career 3.49 ERA, 3.29 ERA this year. Is this guy legit? Strikeout numbers are down this year, though. And it seems like his whip is pretty high, just under 1.5. Seattle scares me pitching-wise. They've got studs up and down the rotation, honestly. So Seattle does scare me because they can get, you know what I mean? Pitching this time of year is not going to go away. And they've got a great bullpen, too. So I wouldn't, but the thing is I'm not pissed off if I lose to Seattle. I just don't want to lose to Boston or New York. Honestly, if Seattle beats us, hey, I'm okay with it as long as it's not Boston or New York. So he hasn't played a full year, so kind of the verdict is still out there. We'll have to see about him. Now, Kyle Bradish pretty good for Baltimore, so I'm just hoping Baltimore can kind of pull one out of the hat for us. Baltimore's a tough team. I know their record, they're only 75 or 76 wins on the year, but Baltimore is still fucking dangerous. I'm hoping they can do us a favor. But at the same time, Tampa Bay is a pretty tough team as well. You look at their plus-minus differential. Tampa Bay is as good as anyone in baseball. Well, not anyone in baseball, but a plus 40 is not really that far off from Toronto, who's a plus 68, and fucking Seattle, who's a plus 79. So it's going to be hard to scrape out this win. Let's just see the pitching matchup. So it's Ian Seymour against Kevin Gossman. So Ian Seymour doesn't have great strikeout numbers. They're not bad, though. This guy's got a 2.85 ERA, and he's a lefty, though. So that kind of scares me. That's a nice little whip he's got there, 1.08. All right. This guy looks kind of like a stud. Now, I know it's a sample size a little bit, too. I'd prefer to lose to Boston and not New York, but I don't want to lose to Boston either, you know what I mean? I do like what Boston's been doing a bit, though. They're developing a very strong farm, so I kind of do like what they're doing. Actually, I was lucky enough to pick up Roman Anthony in our fantasy league, and Roman Anthony looks like he is the real fucking deal, honestly. John Boy Media always annoys the hell out of me. Is that what we call the Yankees media? Is the John Boy Media? I haven't heard that term before, honestly, but I hate their media too. I hate a lot of big market medias, though, if I'm being honest with you, but the thing I hate... Yeah, Ian Seymour's only got the 45 innings, so again, 50, I guess 53 and 2/3. I mean, I just have the stats up, so that's how I know that. He was in the bullpen or something, though. It looks like he was... he's only got 4 games started, and then he's got 18 games overall, so they must have been using him in the bullpen a little bit. I don't know, maybe to keep his innings down, load management, or that sort of thing. I'm not really sure. Oh, yeah, Gossman... And Gossman's been getting better as the year went on, because remember, it wasn't that long ago that Gossman's ERA was up near 4. Like, it was just under 4. He's got that under 3.5 right now. He has been extremely effective down the stretch. His whip is incredible right now, 1.03 whip. You just need him to spot the fastball, spot the splitter, and he'll fucking take care of business, you know? I'm just hoping he can have one of those games where it's just like fucking... I don't want to see the bullpen. I don't necessarily want to see Jeff Hoffman come out. I do like Jeff Hoffman. I know his stats, you know, look ugly, but for the most part, when he commands, he's pretty good. But the problem is, when he's bad, he lets a fucking home run. That's the only thing about Gossman. That's why I'd rather not see Gossman. I'm interested to see how they approach the bullpen tomorrow. If we have a lead, I might have to lean on Sir Anthony Dominguez myself. Have I ever met a Newfie before? I've met some Newfoundlanders, for sure, for sure. You gonna say I sound like a Newfie? I don't care if you do. I think, you know, we got this this Nova Scotia twang out here. But no, I mean, it's tough to say. Like, tomorrow's matchup, theoretically, maybe favors the Jays for the pitching matchup, but it's really... Sage, you're a Newfie? Oh, seriously, to what question? To meeting a Newfie, or you have to bring me up to speed a little bit there? Newfoundland's a beautiful province, honestly. Sage, I don't pay attention to you. You've been all over, man. You've been all over, right? You don't look like a Newfie, Sage, so I'm just going to throw it down like that. I thought you were Halifax, but that's because you were Halifax at one time, right? Then you've been Ontario, all those other spots, too. Actually, over in Europe for a couple of years, too, which was kind of, must have been cool. I've heard of Corner Brook. I've never been there, but no, Newfoundland looks amazing. Honestly, it's probably shitty winters though. Sage, you were in fucking Nova Scotia, weren't you? Are you fucking kidding me? You're making me look like a terrible fucking friend right now. You're gonna lose your wrench if you keep embarrassing me. Yeah. I thought you were there before, like for a brief. I thought that's how you met Donaires. And out of butt, I need to ask: in Newfoundland, you guys get Donaires up in Newfoundland? I hope you guys get Donaires. Otherwise, you guys are deprived. It always comes back to the Donaires, right? One of the best Donaires you had was in Gander. You've told me that before, actually. You actually have told me that before, that that's one of the best Donaires you've ever had was there. But you told me you had King of Donaire as well. And those were pretty fucking good. Okay, so the playoffs in the American League is set. That's awesome. I feel bad for you Houston fans, but you guys have had sustained success since, what, 2013, 2015, so I don't feel that bad for you there. So basically it comes down to what, the 6 seeds either going to be Cleveland or Detroit, and then the 1 seed's either going to be New York or Toronto. Fuck. Let me take a look. I'm just going to take a quick peek at what's going on in the National League there. I have no idea who has the tiebreaker between Milwaukee and Philly. Both teams have lost, well, in Milwaukee's case, they've lost their last 2, and Philly's lost their last 1. Dodgers have won 3 in a row, so that's your division. Now, Philly, potentially, if they have the tiebreaker, could go into first. You got the Cubs, the Padres, and the most interesting thing right now is that the New York Mets are on the outside looking in to the Cincinnati Reds. I love the Cincinnati Reds. I love watching them. I think they've got such young talent. I love their ballpark, too. They've got one of the best ballparks in baseball, if you ask me. I really hope Cincinnati gets in. I know New York fans aren't hoping for that, but man, what a disappointment that would be, you know, going from signing Juan Soto and spending a bunch of money in the offseason to missing the playoffs with like an 83 or 84 win season. That would be disappointing for the Mets. I do have to say that. I'm just going to take a quick peek at the comments here. 1 second. Here we go. Sage says, Adam Buck says, I need to go. Nice to meet you. And yes, we do have Donaires, but I find them disgusting. Oh God, you have no Houston fans listening. They've all jumped off the bandwagon. Oh no, Adam doesn't like Donaires. LOL Brewers. The Reds got the tiebreaker over the Mets too. Or over? Do you mean over the? Yeah, the Red. They do have the tiebreaker over them. So Brewers have the tiebreaker over the 2 seed. I think you said you need to go, but we do this every night at midnight Eastern Standard Time, which I know is late for you, with the exception being tomorrow because I'm trading, changing internet providers. But feel free to join us and, hit the like, subscribe button, all that good shit. We're on Twitter as well. I'm not sure if that's how you find us or not, but at Mr. Thunderful with 2 L's on Twitter. You can give me a follow there if you like. Sage says, for not liking Donaires, you got to subscribe and like the stream, Adam. I like his thinking. Pizza subs are pretty fucking dope, too. I'm going to give you that. Pizza subs are fucking phenomenal. Now you guys are making me hungry again, which happens every time we do these fucking podcasts, honestly. Let's pivot off of that sort of baseball, like the playoff seedings. Alek Manoah found a home, I think it was last night. So Alex Anthopoulos picked him up, and they put Ozzie Albies to the 60-day injured list. So I'm not surprised that the Braves would add him. They had a lot of troubles with their rotation this year. I think he's a good reclamation project as well. I'm not saying he's going to be what he was back in, 2021 or 22, whatever it was. But he does have a bit of potential. I just don't know if he's going to be what he was. Not a problem. You have a good night there, Adam. Take care, man. And then you've also got Orelvis Martinez. Fuck Elon Musk. Yeah, I stayed off it for as long as I could. Then I was like, shit, probably should start promoting this stuff, man. So that's the only reason I'm on there is to share shit, basically. Take her easy, man. Now, we do got Orelvis Martinez being signed by the Washington Nationals, a former top 100 prospect for the Jays. Do I think it'll pan for them? No, but these are the type of shots you want to take for minor league deals. Guys that formerly, had potential. Maybe you think you can tweak their swing a little bit, to get them back in line. That would be why I would sign someone if they've got upside. You're always going to take a shot on upside. Like, look at the Blue Jays signing Eric Lauer this year. I know it's a different scenario because he did have success in the past, but he signed him because he did have some success in the past, had a couple off years. I think he was even pitching overseas or some shit like that. And look at what he did for the Jays. Great minor league signing. A lot of people don't gush over that. That's something that you do need to gush over, if you ask me. All right. What else do we need to get to? We got to get to our picks next, Sage, or should we go over the fantasy first? What do you think? We got no NBA news, so don't suggest that. You want to go fantasy or do you want to go NBA picks? By NBA, I mean NFL. All right, let's go over the fantasy here. So the Pete Rose Bowl cut is coming to a close. The score has changed, Sage, since I last checked it. So obviously your team has done something well, because the score is now 9-5-2. So I got to see what you did. Did you get a win? You motherfucker, you got a fucking win? Who got you a fucking win, you son of a bitch? Oh, you fucking asshole. I tied you in saves, though, at least. That kind of offsets. I'm coming close to your ERA, man. I'm coming after your ERA. You're not going to catch me for innings pitched, strikeouts, or quality starts. I don't think you can catch me for OPS. I don't know if it's possible for slugging unless you had like a monumental day. Oh, man, that's actually pretty big that you got that win, to be honest. Because it was looking like you had no chance in hell. Hmm. 8-6. I'm just trying to do a little bit of math here. I don't know, man. It's possible. Didn't Cade Horton just pitch, though? When did Cade Horton pitch? I thought we couldn't add guys after midnight, Sage. Remember I asked you that earlier? That's not good for them, though, for their playoff run. He's not going to be able to pitch until, like, Game 5 of the NLDS. So that's a pretty big blow for Chicago, isn't it? When did he pitch last, though? Do you know when he pitched last? Because wouldn't we have to give it like 5 days from his pitching if he's a starter? Oh, okay, 23rd. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he'd be in line then. He's their rookie ace. How good is this Cade Horton? He had a 1.03 ERA across 61 and a third innings over 12 starts in the second half. Holy fuck. I don't know his overall numbers because they're just showing what he's got in this, this article basically for for his second half stats. That's pretty crazy though. He's been hot. That's a big blow to Chicago. I kind of think Chicago's going to get knocked out early, honestly. All right, let's take a look at. Sage, you still have a chance, but I think the best you could do is 7-7. Don't you think? Well, I guess you probably could come back. I don't know. I never had Cade Horton, did I? Did I have Cade Horton? So when I had him, he was definitely over a 4 ERA then, because I wouldn't drop him if he was under a 4. I keep you, sort of thing. So he must have been over a 4 ERA. Well, we definitely do have a series. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm just gonna set my roster just in case I'm not up in time. Well, I always set it anyway, but you know what I mean. Alright, so Bryce Miller's going tomorrow. That'll be a tune-up game for him. Does he have any quality starts? Just one this year. Cam Schittler really pissed me off today. Well, there's nothing for me to really do other than just keep my lineup and pray we don't collapse. That's kind of crazy though. The reliever picking up a win is a pretty big change. All right, we got OJ's juicery as well. The only thing we're gonna go over here is a couple moves. Yeah, you did say earlier you needed to pray for a RP win. Vesla answered your prayers. Fucking asshole Vesla is, man. Jesus Christ. We got a few moves. Dan dropped EJ Speed. By Dan, I mean deflate these balls. Dropped EJ Speed. Added Isaiah Rogers, who's a solid little corner, but he had like 50 fantasy points last week. He's not going to replicate. I dropped a guy I really like in Marshawn Lloyd, running back for the Packers. Slated to come back soon from the IR, but he's behind Josh Jacobs, so I'm okay with that. And I picked up Nnamdi Matabuke, defensive tackle / defensive end for the Baltimore Ravens. Just stashing him on the IR to see what happens there. So that's it. That's all we got for fantasy. He got hurt, that's why I picked him up, just to stash him. So I just picked him up to stash instead of someone else, basically. I like stashing guys, man. I'm all about stashing guys for the late season surge, which I'm gonna probably need if I'm gonna make the playoffs. I'm feeling what is this stuff going on right now? Why am I reading on Twitter that Vanderlei Silva was disqualified and he was knocked unconscious in a post-fight brawl? He headbutted the guy. Why is Vanderlei Silva still fighting? They're swinging. What kind of promotion is this? Oh my God, I'm sharing that. I gotta share that, Sage. Take a look at this. I'll just tag you. Why is this guy still fighting, man? Dude, he didn't have a chin for like the last 5-6 years of the UFC. Why would he be doing boxing now, man? He got knocked out after the fight. Watch the video, man. Let me know when you've watched that video. I'm gonna turn over to the other stuff we gotta cover. I'm gonna get to the fantasy football picks here. They're not fantasy. This is the real football. We already went over the fantasy. He headbutted the guy. I think he got disqualified. He definitely got disqualified. He gets knocked out cold, Sage. Watch the whole video. Oh my god. It was like a trainer or something that fucking knocked him out. That is fucking hilarious. That is amazing, man. Down goes the axe murderer. You're fucking right, man. Holy fuck, man. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now? That was hilarious, man. London Bridge is falling down. Alright. Let's get to our picks before we get the fuck out of here. Again, we won't be back tomorrow, which is kind of a shame because the Packers play tomorrow. Our season wraps up tomorrow, so maybe we'll do a extra long stream on Monday to make up for it. It should be the next stream's thumbnail. Well, we'll see how everything goes, and then we'll pick thumbnails, right? All right. The Minnesota Vikings, they're not... I mean, technically they're on the road against the Steelers, but this is an early game in... I think it's in Ireland. They're favored to win by 2.5. To me, it's a hard game to pick because the reason it's a hard game to pick is, okay, right now the Steelers aren't playing good defense. I don't necessarily think that's going to sustain. And I do like the Vikings defense more. I probably do like the Vikings overall. They're getting Jordan Addison back. I probably like them more overall. Now, I'm not too fond of their running back, Jordan Mason, but he seems okay. It's just, is Carson Wentz going to be great? So Roger Goodell wants 16 international games per year. So is that going to be like one per team? Is that how it's going to work out? Is one per team every 2 years, basically? It makes sense. It makes sense that every year each team should be equally represented over there for home games, because it doesn't make sense. We've got nine home games sometimes for people with this 9 and 8 system. It's bullshit, man. So yeah, it should be 8 and 8, 8 home games here, 8 road games there, and then 1 internationally. I'm okay with that. Now, when you change back to 18, I don't know how you're going to do that, but it is what it is, right? But yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. That number to me makes sense. Doesn't surprise me. I'm not sure. I feel like the Vikings will win, and they'll probably cover the 2.5 spread as well. But I just feel like if the Steelers kind of start playing a bit of D, if they get some turnovers, and Carson Wentz is turnover prone, I can't tell you one way or the other how this game's going to go. First off, they're traveling overseas. Second off, I don't know where the Steelers' D is going to be. If they can block a little better, that'd be great. I know their running back, Jalen Warren, is a little banged up. I can see the Steelers winning the game. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. It depends on Carson Wentz, man. If Carson Wentz throws 2 picks or more, I don't think... Well, Aaron Rodgers probably throw a pick. Against Minnesota's D, Brian Flores in that defense is incredible. So it absolutely could happen. So, I don't know. I mean, going for the Steelers. Can they protect enough for Aaron Rodgers? Is Aaron Rodgers and company going to have enough offense, passing the ball? DK Metcalf hasn't been exactly a burner. Calvin Austin's been a good little surprise. Roman Wilson hasn't figured in. I don't know, between Jonnu Smith, Pat Freiermuth, etc., they haven't really gotten going a ton. I'm hoping for the Steelers. I think the Vikings pull it out. Next game, you got Carolina on the road against New England. Now, one thing I want to say about this game, the over-under is set at 43. Both teams aren't particularly great at pass rush. So I would take the over. and I would take the over. I'm not going to get into a lot of over-unders today, but if I see one that I like, that you gamblers out there want to throw down, I guarantee this game goes over. Now, I do think New England is going to win the game, and they're going to cover the 5.5 spread. Because last week they had 5 turnovers, and they kept it to a 7-point game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I don't think they're going to have 5 turnovers again. And Drake May's been playing pretty incredible the last couple of games. I think he's got a 74% completion percentage. His rating's off the charts. Really comes down to the running backs and some of the other positions there. I'm sorry, Harold Landry's old, Sage. Harold Landry's old, so I don't give a fuck about Harold Landry anymore. Now, here's a game that I have no idea how to call. You've got the Cleveland Browns on the road against the Detroit Lions. Okay, so I will take Detroit to win the game, sorry. But a 10-point cover, 29 is a bit old for a pass rusher for me. It's getting old. It's getting old. If I was to sign Harold Landry to a 3-year deal where he's not he's not a specimen, man. He's not a specimen. He's not Julius Peppers, man. He's not that type of guy. He is good, and I think he'll do good this year. But to sign him to a 3-4-year deal, stupid. And I'm pretty sure that's what New England did, was a 3-4-year deal, which I wouldn't condone. I wouldn't do. I don't think it's a great use of resources. But when you've got $100 to $110 million in cap, I understand that's what happens. You just waste your cap money in order to fill the cap space. He's the greatest of all time, Sage says. Now, he's clearly saying this because this motherfucker used to play in Tennessee. I like Harold Landry, but do I like him much after this year? No, I don't. I don't like his contract. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm telling you, the pass rush for New England and the pass rush for Carolina are not very good. And if you give Bryce Young some time back there, Bryce Young's a pretty good quarterback to me. But let's get to Detroit. So Browns on the road against Detroit. Detroit wins the game, in my opinion. Now, covering a 10-point spread. So that means in order, if you're betting on Detroit, for example, they need to win by more than 11 or more in order for you to make your bet 10 to push. I just feel like I think Detroit's very good overall. I think the Browns have a really good defense. I don't know. I think, would it surprise me if Detroit won by 2 or 3 scores? No. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns to cover, though. That's what I'm going with here. Now, this is an interesting game, too, from a betting perspective. You've got the LA Chargers, also known as the San Diego Chargers, which, of course, means a whale's vagina, on the road against the New York Giants. I like what the Chargers are doing. They have to win by 7 or more to make the bet. I think it's very interesting. You got Jackson Dart starting. That's his debut. I do think the Chargers will cover on the road because I feel like Jackson Dart is going to make a mistake at some point, given that it's his first game. It wouldn't surprise me, though, man. Like, if the Giants covered, I don't see a world in which like they win the game outright. I absolutely do not. So, Chargers going to win this game, in my opinion, regardless. They might not cover, but I mean, it's a tall task if you're fucking, you know what I mean? Like, Jackson Dart going up against Harbaugh and Jesse Minter and that defense. They've got a pretty nasty defense. I'm going Chargers both to cover and to win the game. Not touching the over-under there. And here's where it gets extremely interesting for me, man. You got the New Orleans Saints, potentially the worst football team in the world, on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo's going to win the game. Absolutely, no questions asked. There's no question about that. You're not going to make anything if you bet on them, so don't bother betting on them unless you got like, $20 million to waste on it, basically. Now, to cover 15, so 15's the push. I like the Saints to cover, man. You're asking a lot. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it went the other way and Buffalo won by 2 or 3 scores, but 15 is a huge cover. I mean, I can go either way with this bet. I'm just saying 15 points is a lot, so I'm certainly indifferent because I know Buffalo's dominating. Fuck it, I'll go Buffalo to cover 15. I don't fucking know. Now, here is a game I really feel strongly about. Now, if you're betting, you might want to get out your little pencil, your little notepad right now. Start taking some fucking notes, okay? First and foremost, Philly is on the road against Tampa Bay. So what did I just say? I said they're on the road against Tampa Bay. Cool. Okay. Philly is favored to win by -3.5. So that means 4 or more to make the bet. I like Tampa Bay not only to win this game, but if they win the game, they're going to cover the spread. So I don't like Philly. I don't like Philly at all. Tristan Wirfs is coming back. You've got, You've got Chris Godwin coming back. Yeah, you'll be without Mike Evans. You still got Shepard. You still got other guys that you can throw the ball to. Egbuka has been a stud. I like the way these guys play. And you know what? Vita Vea might say, fuck the tush push, and he might throw him back into the fucking end zone. That's what I see. That 350-pound mauler. I feel confident about this game. Bucks to win. Bucks. Don't put your money on Philly. Philly has been extremely lucky this year. They have been extremely lucky. Last week, probably should have lost to the goddamn fucking Rams. I really like the Rams a lot. And there was other weeks where they just didn't look good. They didn't look that good against Dallas, for fuck's sakes. Chicago just blew the fuck out. I don't trust Philly. Their pass rush isn't what it used to be. Nolan Smith is not playing this week. Obviously, they lost Melton Williams, and they lost fucking Josh Sweat in free agency. They're not the pass rush that they were last year. I look for Baker Mayfield to fucking air this motherfucker out. The only thing is they do have a very good cornerback there, so that might change things. But that's only one player you can cover. The Bucks have a good running game. I think they're going to have a great offensive line performance, etc., etc. I'm just going to take a quick peek at the comments here. I think I saw something going on. And I agree with Sage. Could easily have been 0-3 so far to start the year. Absolutely. Sage and I, we don't agree on a lot, but we'll agree on that. Next game's interesting. So you got the Tennessee Titans on the road against the Houston Texans. The Texans... Fuck! Alright. The Tennessee Titans on the road against the Houston Texans. Texans are favored to win by 7 or more. So 7 to push, 8 to win, essentially. I like the Tennessee Titans to cover the spread here. Houston, they don't look that good. It's a divisional game. I think Tennessee is going to cover. And if I look at the math here, the over-under is 39.5, which is extremely low, which means I don't think if the over-under is low, that you should have a very high margin for the spread. It doesn't make any sense to me. Tennessee covers. I'd feel very confident about that cover. Titans, no, I said they're going to cover. I don't necessarily trust Houston to win. Houston probably wins, given it's a home game. I like the Titans to cover. So if you're going to put the Titans to cover on your little bet over there. Now, the next game is very interesting. The odds, Sage thinks they're going to win. It might happen, Sage. I'm just saying they'll cover. They'll cover. Now, this isn't what the odds are in the States. Because when I was watching in the States, they had Washington Commanders favored to win by -1.5. So I don't necessarily trust the odds that Bet365 is throwing by. Because I really don't understand this. Why it would differ so much from the sports program I was watching hours ago. Anyways, in Bet365, they've got them to cover +2. On other sites, they are favored to win by -1.5. So I actually like the Falcons when I knew that Washington was favored to win. I like the Falcons to cover. If that's on other sites, -1.5. I like them to cover. And I like them to win. I don't know if I like them to win by 2. I like him to win. I think Marcus Mariota is just too terrible as a quarterback. He's going to shit the bed. I don't think he's going to be good this week. And I feel like getting beat down by Carolina might be a good thing for the Falcons. Might wake them up a little bit. The next game is actually a pretty good game. Seems like all the games are at 2 o'clock, though, for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Or at least 5 o'clock. They're in Pacific time. I'm not going to leave them alone, Sage. It's not what I do. It's not what I do, man. Alright, the next thing we got going here, fuck off. My scroll bar is not working. You got the Indianapolis Colts on the road against the LA Rams. The Colts are going to be without Kenneth Moore, cornerback. The Rams have the best 1-2 punch in football. I believe they're the most sacks in the league as well. I like the Rams definitely to win the game at home. And I think they're going to be pissed off a little bit. I like them to cover the -3.5 as well. Colts have been good this year. I feel like this is a game where you might see Daniel Jones come back down to reality even further. I'm going Rams to cover -3.5. Now, this is a very interesting game. Sage, you might be able to weigh in a little bit better than me. You've got Jacksonville Jaguars on the road against the San Francisco 49ers. It is expected that Brock Purdy is going to return from his toe injury. San Francisco, who I think they're kind of a fluke 3-0. Sorry, but I do. Favored to win by -3.5. So, Jacksonville on the road, I kind of like them to cover. I could certainly see them winning the game. I don't know, man. What do you think about Jacksonville this year? Jacksonville seems like a good team, man. I like them to cover. Sage like, I don't like... well, I mean, I'm not saying I like either. I'm just saying for this particular game, I like Jacksonville to cover. San Francisco probably wins, but, I mean... I'm not surprised if Jacksonville wins, man. They've got ETN in the backfield. Their quarterback seems to be looking a little better there. What's his name? Trevor Lawrence. Fucking 2 first names. Is Brian Robinson playing, though? That's the only thing. You don't have George Kittle playing. Yeah, probably the Niners win, but I like the Jacksonville Jaguars to cover. Now we're going to get into a good game here. You've got Baltimore on the road against the Kansas City Chiefs. So unless there's a tie, barring a tie, one of these two teams will be 1-3. I just feel like the Ravens have put up over 30 every game this year and over 42 games this year. Offensively, they're going to be able to get to the Chiefs. Even though Steve Spagnuolo calls it great defense and they've got some great defenders, I feel like Baltimore's still going to score points. I don't feel like Kansas City's going to be able to play with them, really. I like the Ravens to win the game. Chiefs are probably pretty good at keeping it close, but I'm going to take the Ravens to cover as well. I just really like the Ravens this week, honestly. Sage is predicting a tie. Do you know what, Sage? There was one time I was doing pro line, or I was doing something. There was one time, I don't know, maybe twice. I think one was in fighting, one was in football. 2 times I felt like I'm so sure it's going to be a tie. And one was an MMA fight too, right? So who the fuck knows? Like that's kind of crazy to predict a tie. Those never actually happen. I would have made a lot of money on those bets. Let's just put it down like that. Like an actual tie is so rare. If you got the balls, I don't even think there's the option to do it because it's just cover the spread or win, right? Next game was pretty intriguing to me. The Chicago Bears on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the thing about the Las Vegas Raiders is they never have a real home field advantage because they're in Las Vegas. I bet you there'll be more Bears fans there than Raiders fans. Maybe Ashton GNT gets going this week. I don't know. It's basically the Raiders win by 2 or more. I'm not trusting the Raiders. I think the Bears could win this game, man. They could cover that. The Bears could definitely win. I think they're doing some things on offense. I think they'll continue growing on offense, but can they play defense? I don't know. Can the Raiders play defense? I don't know. The Bears kind of suck, but I'm going to go with the Bears here for both. And then we've got Sunday Night Football starring the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I do like the Packers to win. Covering 7 or more is going to be tricky. Then again, I think the Cowboys are letting like 400 yards per game to the opposing team, which is certainly not a good thing. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. It's very bad. But the Packers are short-handed. They're going to be without 3 offensive linemen. And this is kind of uncharted territory. They called up some motherfucker today, Lasita something, from the practice squad. So you're without Aaron Banks at the left guard position. You're without your stud right tackle, Zach Tom. And then you're without your second-round draft pick this year, backing up Zach Tom, Anthony Belton. So you're going to have Jordan Morgan at left guard. You're going to have Kennard playing right tackle. Could it be good enough against Dallas's defense? I mean, if Micah Parsons was playing for them, I'd feel really bad right now. But he is playing for us. For Dallas, Tyler Booker, their right guard, who looks to be very good, will not be playing. CeeDee Lamb will not be playing. I'm not really sure where Dak Prescott's going to go with the ball. I certainly feel like the name is eluding me. That little fucker there. Starts with a J. I've had him in fantasy leagues before. 1 second here. It's going to piss me off if I don't know his fucking name. Javonte Williams. Told you it started with a J. They also got Jaden Blue. I don't really think Javonte Williams is doing as good as... He had some cheap touchdowns in the first week. I think he had 2 of them. I don't think he's going to run the ball great against us. I don't think Miles Sanders is. They don't seem to use Jaden Blue, a guy that they picked. So I'm not really worried about their rushing attack. Who they're going to pass the ball to. I mean, they got George Pickens and Jake Ferguson. So if you're a guy in Fantasy League and you've got Jake Ferguson, I expect a lot of targets. We play extremely great against tight ends, though, so going to be hard to get to the end zone. I just feel like the Packers they should win. Covering 7's going to be hard. It just depends, because we're talking offensive line injuries. This is what pisses me off a bit. All the big media is talking about this week is, Micah Parsons going back to fucking Dallas. Well, no, we should be talking about the offensive line and that injury. We should be talking about, okay, Dallas has Deron Bland coming back, Trayvon Diggs, that other motherfucker of a corner. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about the game. Not the fact that, Micah Parsons is going back, but all they do is cheap clickbait. They don't actually want to break down a game or anything like that. And all they know how to do when you watch these fucking so-called sports analysts is fucking pick the team that's favored to win anyway. They don't know anything about cover the spread, all that shit. Half of them probably were hired from the fucking Weather Network previously, unless they were a former coach or player. So I'll take the Packers to win the game. I don't want to get greedy, but the Packers probably will cover too. But the O-line scares me a little bit. Now the next game's kind of interesting. You got the New York Jets on the road against the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are favored to win by 3 or more. I guess Tyrod Taylor is going to be pitching. So I don't know, man. This game's a shitty game for a Monday night fucking football game. I don't care, honestly. I wouldn't bet on it. The Dolphins probably win and cover, but, like, I don't feel confident about it. What a shitty fucking game that is for Monday. And to make matters even shittier, it would be a good game if Joe Burrow wasn't injured, mind you. You've got Cincinnati on the road against the Denver Broncos. Denver's favored to win basically by 8 or more. Well, Denver's going to win the game. I'm extremely confident about that. If you feel differently, you should bet on the Cincinnati Bengals. $4.50 for every buck that you put down. So if you feel the Bengals can win this one, I mean, Denver's lost a lot of games. They've lost 2 in a row with the time winding down. It could happen. I don't know about cover the spread, 7.5. I'll just take Denver to win both. Fuck it. This is just despicable without Joe Burrow. I don't even want to watch this fucking team. Shamar Stewart's out of the fucking ball game. They might as well just fucking trade Trey Hendrickson now. I'm about to lose my fucking mind talking about the goddamn Bengals and what could have been. Get some fucking offensive linemen next year, huh? Stop putting Joe Burrow through this shit every fucking year. Let's get a fucking O-line. Let's build a fucking defense. Fucking get rid of T. Higgins or Jamar Chase if you have to. Fuck. Although I like having them on the team. Anyways, I don't know. The Monday night is lackluster. I'm just going to say it right now. Monday night, extremely lackluster. I'll tune in, but, like, what shitty games. And what's with the timings, man? Was this Central Time or something? 4:15 Central and 5:15 Central? Like, fuck off, man. Why are we doing that? You're going to have a game going at the same time as another game. Like, I don't understand that. I honestly don't understand that for a fucking Monday night. Why not do it three hours later? I don't know. Sage, what do you think? Should a game be starting 1 hour after the other one? On Monday, when there's only 2 fucking games. Seems like a nice way to fucking split your ratings. Doesn't seem like a great business plan, if you ask me. I don't mind if there's 2 on Monday Night Football, but space them. Now, the only thing I have a problem with when it comes to 2 on Monday Night Football is you've got 1 good announcing crew and then you've got 1 bad announcing crew. So that's the only thing I don't like. When you've got like Dan Orlovsky and those other 2 stooges, the announcing is just not very good. So that's what I'll agree with you. Is the production takes a bit of a hit. You know what I mean? Well, I think we covered things pretty damn good tonight. We enter the last. We won't be on tomorrow. The internet will be out tomorrow unless they fuck up. So that's kind of a shame. We're not going to talk Packers, and we're not going to get to talk, the goddamn fucking fantasy outcome. Maybe that's a good thing. All right, I'm out of here. We'll be back at it, not tomorrow, but the day after. But tomorrow, I think we're streaming at some point on Indie Game Cloud. So keep an eye out for that. I haven't thought what time we're streaming yet, so I probably should figure that out. So keep an eye on that. Have a good night, guys. See you tomorrow.